Goku stood with his legs wide apart and his fist clenched so hard that his skin turned white. The silver glow of Ultra Instinct was back, but this time it was different because it did not come from the Grand Priest. It came from Goku's own heart and his own will to protect his friends. To his left, Vegeta stood in his Super Saiyan blue evolved form. Dark blue energy swirled around Vegeta like a wild ocean. To Goku's right, Jiren stood tall. Jiren did not say a word, but his red aura was burning so hot that the air around him was shaking. They were the three strongest mortals in all the universes. In front of them stood the Grand Priest. He did not look worried at all. He looked like he was having fun. The 6 dark angels he had brought back to life stood behind him. These angels had grey skin and eyes that were completely black. They did not look like regular angels. They looked like ghosts that wanted to hurt people. The Grand Priest raised his hand and waved it slowly. One of the dark angels flew forward. He was so fast that even Vegeta could barely see him move. The dark angel swung his staff at Goku's head. Goku did not even look at him. He just tilted his head to the side. The staff missed by an inch. Goku then punched the dark angel in the stomach. It was a very fast punch. It felt like a mountain hitting a wall. The dark angel flew back and crashed into a stone pillar. The pillar broke into 1,000 pieces. Goku looked at his hand. He felt strong. He felt like he could do anything. But he knew this was just the beginning. The Grand Priest started to laugh. His laugh was cold and mean. He told the other 5 dark angels to attack all at once. Vegeta jumped into the air. He shouted a loud warrior cry. He started firing big yellow energy blasts from both hands. Each blast was as big as a car. 2 of the dark angels flew through the smoke. They were spinning their staffs to block Vegeta's attacks. Vegeta flew down and kicked one of the angels in the chest. He felt the hard armor of the angel. It hurt his foot, but he did not stop. He grabbed the angel's arm and threw him toward Jiren. Jiren was waiting. Jiren did not move until the angel was right in front of him. Then, Jiren punched the air. A massive ball of red fire shot out. It hit the dark angel and exploded. The sound was like a giant thunderclap. It shook the whole palace. Goku was busy fighting 2 other dark angels. They were moving in a circle around him. They were trying to find a weak spot. Goku closed his eyes. He let his body move on its own. One angel tried to poke him with a staff. Goku grabbed the staff. He pulled it hard. The angel flew forward. Goku used his knee to hit the angel in the chin. He heard a loud crack. The angel flew up into the ceiling. The other angel tried to hit Goku from behind, but Goku felt the wind move. He did not have to see. He just knew. He spun around and kicked the angel in the ribs. The angel fell to the floor and slid across the shiny black stone. The Grand Priest watched the fight. He was still smiling, but his eyes were getting narrower. He did not like that the mortals were winning. He looked up at the window where future Zeno was floating. Future Zeno looked very small. He looked like a little doll. The Grand Priest pointed his staff at the window. A beam of dark purple light shot out. It was aimed right at future Zeno. Goku saw it. He knew he had to save the little king. Goku used his instant transmission. He disappeared in a blink. He reappeared right in front of the window. He put his hands together. He made a blue ball of energy. He yelled, "Kamehameha." The blue beam hit the purple beam. The 2 energies struggled in the middle of the room. It was like 2 giant snakes fighting. The blue light was bright and warm. The purple light was dark and cold. Vegeta saw Goku struggling. He knew he had to help. He flew toward the Grand Priest. He gathered all his energy into his right hand. He was going to use his final flash. The blue energy around him became blinding. He shouted as loud as he could. The veins on his forehead were popping out. He fired the giant yellow beam at the Grand Priest. The Grand Priest did not even move. He just raised his left hand. He caught Vegeta's final flash with his palm. He held it there like it was a small ball of yarn. Vegeta's eyes went wide. He could not believe it. That was his strongest attack. The Grand Priest squeezed his hand. The final flash vanished. It just disappeared. The Grand Priest then flicked his finger. A tiny spark of white light hit Vegeta in the chest. Vegeta flew back and hit the floor so hard that he made a big hole. Jiren saw Vegeta fall. He knew the Grand Priest was the real target. Jiren charged his power. He became even bigger. His red aura turned into a deep crimson color. He started punching the air very fast. Each punch sent a shockwave of heat at the Grand Priest. The Grand Priest just moved his head slightly. He was dodging every single shockwave. He looked bored. He looked like he was playing with a child. Jiren did not give up. He got closer and closer. He tried to grab the Grand Priest's neck, but the Grand Priest was too fast. He stepped to the side and tripped Jiren. Jiren fell face first onto the ground. Goku was still holding the Kamehameha against the Grand Priest's dark beam. He was sweating. He could feel his energy draining away. He looked at future Zeno. Future Zeno looked scared. Goku knew he had to win. He thought about Chi-Chi. He thought about the dinner she would cook if he came home. He thought about Goten and his smile. He thought about Gohan and how proud he was of his son. That thought gave him a second wind. He roared. The blue beam of the Kamehameha became twice as big. It pushed the purple beam back. It hit the Grand Priest's staff. The staff didn't break, but the Grand Priest had to use both hands to hold it. The Grand Priest stopped smiling. He was angry now. He did not think a mortal could push him back. He stopped the dark beam. He looked at Goku with pure hatred. "You think you are a god?" he asked. "You are just a monkey in a fancy robe. I will show you what a true god can do." The Grand Priest raised both hands. The ceiling of the palace disappeared. Above them was the endless void of space, but it was not empty. Thousands of giant rocks and broken pieces of planets were floating there. The Grand Priest moved his hands down. All those giant rocks started falling toward the palace. It was like a rain of mountains. Goku, Vegeta, and Jiren looked up. They saw the sky falling on them. They knew they couldn't dodge everything. They had to work together. Vegeta stood up, coughing blood. He stood next to Goku. Jiren stood on the other side. "We have to blast them all at once," Goku shouted. Vegeta nodded. Jiren didn't say anything, but he raised his hands. Goku started charging a new Kamehameha. Vegeta started charging a Gallic gun. Jiren started charging a massive power impact ball. They all fired at the same time. The blue, yellow, and red beams mixed together. They created a giant rainbow-colored wave of energy. The wave hit the falling rocks. The rocks exploded into tiny grains of sand. The whole sky was filled with bright light and loud booms. When the light cleared, the palace was mostly destroyed. Only the floor and a few pillars were left. The Grand Priest was still standing there, but he looked different. His clothes were slightly torn. He had a small scratch on his cheek. One drop of blue blood ran down his face. He touched the blood with his finger. He looked at it. He was shocked. No one had made him bleed in millions of years. He looked at the three mortals. They were all breathing hard. They were shaking, but they were still standing. The dark angels were not finished either. They all got up from the debris. They looked even scarier now. Their black eyes were glowing. They surrounded the three heroes. Goku looked at Vegeta. "Can you keep going?" he asked. Vegeta spit more blood on the floor. "I am the Prince of Saiyans," he said. "I don't stop until the enemy is dead." Jiren nodded. "I still have strength," he said. The Grand Priest wiped the blood from his cheek. He let out a long breath. "Very well," he said. "If you want to fight like animals, I will treat you like animals." He snapped his fingers. The 6 dark angels merged together. They became one giant being. This new creature was 10 feet tall. It had 4 arms and 2 heads. It was covered in dark purple armor. Its power was so high that Goku felt like he was standing next to a sun. The giant creature roared. The sound wave was so strong that it knocked the Goku back a few steps. This giant creature attacked first. It moved so fast that it looked like it was in 3 places at once. It hit Jiren with 2 fists and Vegeta with the other 2. Jiren flew one way. Vegeta flew the other way. Then the giant creature turned to Goku. It opened its 2 mouths. 2 beams of black fire shot out. Goku used his ultra instinct to move. He was dodging the fire, but it was following him. It was like the fire was alive. Goku flew high into the air. The fire followed him. He flew behind a giant piece of the palace wall. The fire hit the wall and melted it instantly. Goku knew he needed a plan. He looked down and saw Vegeta and Jiren trying to get back up. The giant creature was walking toward them. Goku flew down and landed between them. "We need to fuse," Goku said to Vegeta. Vegeta looked at Goku like he was crazy. "No," he shouted. "I am not doing that silly dance with you. Not again." Goku grabbed Vegeta's shoulder. "Vegeta, look at that thing. We can't beat it alone. And the Grand Priest hasn't even used his full power yet. If we don't do something big, everyone dies." Vegeta looked to the giant monster. He looked at the Grand Priest. He looked at the empty throne. He hated fusing, but he hated losing more. "Fine," he yelled, "but if you tell anyone about this, I will kill you myself." Goku smiled. "Don't worry, Vegeta. Nobody is left to tell." "Jiren, we need you to buy us some time," Goku shouted. Jiren understood. He stepped forward. He stood in front of the giant monster. He looked like a tiny ant compared to the beast. But Jiren did not show fear. He flared his crimson aura one last time. He charged at the monster. Jiren and the giant monster started to clash. Jiren was hitting the monster with everything he had. He was punching its chest and its many arms. The monster was hitting back. Every time they hit each other, the floor of the palace cracked even more. Jiren was being pushed back. The monster was too strong, but Jiren kept fighting. He was a wall that would not break. Behind Jiren, Goku and Vegeta started the dance. They moved their arms in a circle. They took 3 steps toward each other. They pointed their fingers. Fusion. Ha! A massive pillar of white light shot up into the void. The light was so bright that even the Grand Priest had to cover his eyes. When the light faded, a new warrior was standing there. He had black hair with a silver tint. He was wearing a black and gold vest. He had a look of total confidence on his face. This was Gogeta, but he was not just a Super Saiyan. He was in his own version of Ultra Instinct. Gogeta looked at his hands. He felt the power of 2 of the greatest Saiyans mixed together. He looked at the giant monster that was currently crushing Jiren's head with its hands. "Hey!" Gogeta shouted. His voice sounded like Goku and Vegeta talking at the same time. "Pick on someone your own size." The giant monster let go of Jiren. Jiren fell to the ground, unconscious. The monster turned its 2 heads toward Gogeta. It roared and charged. Gogeta did not move. He waited until the monster was inches away. Then he moved so fast the camera could not even track him. He appeared behind the monster. He kicked it in the back of its 2 heads. The monster flew forward and hit the ground. Before it could get up, Gogeta appeared above it. He held out his hand. A small blue ball of light appeared. "Stardust Breaker," he said. He threw the ball. It hit the monster and turned into 1,000 colorful sparkles. The monster started to dissolve. It screamed as it turned into dust and vanished. The Grand Priest was not smiling anymore. His face was red with anger. "You mortals, you dare to use the techniques of the gods against me," he screamed. He flew into the air. He held his staff high. The void around them started to turn purple. Thousands of dark spears made of energy appeared in the air. They were all pointed at Gogeta. Gogeta looked up at the spears. He didn't look scared. He looked ready. He turned to look at the fallen Hirin and the terrified future Zeno. He knew this was the end of the line. One of them had to fall today. The Grand Priest swung his staff down. All the thousands of spears shot toward Gogeta at the same time. It looked like a wall of purple death. Gogeta took a deep breath. He gathered all the energy of the fusion into his lungs. He was going to use everything he had. He didn't just want to survive, he wanted to win. The spears got closer and closer. The heat from the energy was starting to burn the ground. Gogeta closed his eyes for a second. He felt the heart of the universe beating. He opened his eyes and they were glowing with a light that was brighter than any star. The battle for the throne was reaching its highest point. The palace was gone. The gods were watching from far away. The fate of every living thing was in the hands of one fused warrior and one angry angel. The air was thick with power. The ground was shaking. This was the moment that would change history forever. Will Gogeta be able to stop the Grand Priest's ultimate attack? Can the power of immortal fusion truly defeat the highest angel of all? The fight is far from over. There is more of this story to come in the next episode.